This is part 10. I listen to all my books on Audible, by the way. Not sponsored. I pay for it. I wish there was a way like on Spotify where you can share your playlist. I could just share books with everybody. Oh yeah, I bought this book. Here. Have it. But this is my way of giving back to the community. Secondhand horror all the way. This is gonna be a thing. So here we go. We're back with Daniel. He's having a nightmare about his time in Vietnam. He's standing over a dying pregnant woman who is trying to rip the baby out of her stomach as the baby is like thrashing around in her gut. In the womb. Daniel's just standing over this woman like, I'm a monster. This is not right. This isn't human. Like, I feel non-human. Like, I'm a monster. I can't believe I'm here doing this. And of course, in classic nightmare fashion, the woman ripped open her womb and pulled out Harold. Daniel's bruh. And the woman passes away and Harold's just, flailing around like, heh. And then an army of beheaded screaming rats come up behind Harold, worshipping the god of Harold. And Daniel's like, what? And then Harold pulls out a grenade and blows everything up, and then Daniel wakes up from the nightmare. So Morris is there in the room, and Daniel begins talking with Morris about his crimes in Vietnam. I killed this woman, and she was pregnant, and I think, is this the price I have to pay? Since I killed this woman and her unborn child, is this the price I have to pay for my life, for my own child to be taken from Vera? Like, this is fucked up, dude. And then Morris is comforting him, and they're talking like good old bros, and they're working through their trauma. Loving words of support, and Daniel realizes, I think I'm gonna go home. I think it's time. I don't want to get into this part. So, Catholic school time. Harold's back in class in their dingy little basement special needs room, and Harold is watching the clock. It is towards the end of the day, and these kids aren't really taught numbers and what the clock means, but he recognizes when the minute and hour hand land in a particular way. He knows that's when he has to leave. So he's watching the clock and he's waiting for that pattern to know when he's going to leave. Well, Sister Dumas sees this, and she's mad at him for not paying attention in class. Therefore, he has to stay in detention. He has to stay after class. You're misbehaving and you're not paying attention to the lesson. Since you don't want to pay attention, you're going to stay after again this month and make it up. So she sends Shelly and Benji on their way, and she keeps Harold in the classroom. Harold, deadpanned, emotionless, is just like, fuck. So Sister Dumas wanders upstairs, and she walks over to the secretary, and she's just, can you call Vera, or at least give me Vera's phone number so I can let her know that her son has to stay after school again? 'Cause he's misbehaving. Sister Dumas, the second time this month. What is he doing so bad that he has to stay again? Oh, he just doesn't want to learn the lesson, so I'm punishing him by having him stay. Okay, sister, well, I'll pull out the number for you. You sure you want to stay late as well? I can keep the door unlocked. Oh, that's fine, darling. That's whatever. The poor secretary and everyone else in the school doesn't really know what's going on, or at least they have a inkling of the things that go on in the school and just don't want to acknowledge it. So Sister Dumas is like, I'll take care of it. You go home. It's late. I'll make the phone call. And as she's making the phone call, she's thinking about what's going to happen in the basement. It's a splatterpunk novel, y'all. There's gonna be some pretty gross things. She is horning up, and she starts, playing with herself a little bit, thinking about things. So immediately Sister Dumas calls Vera, and she's like, oh, your son misbehaved. We're gonna keep him after. We'll leave the front door unlocked so you can come and pick him up whenever. Vera doesn't pick up. She just leaves a message. Sister Dumas hangs up, goes back downstairs. So I'm gonna brush over this and be vague. As she goes downstairs, she faces the whiteboard and, gets ready to write something. Harold's still sitting at his desk, and she thinks to herself, the Lord is testing me. Sometimes the Lord is testing me, and it's up for me to teach these kids to become godly people and for them to get there, or whatever. So religion runs pretty thick in my family. My entire mother's side is Catholic, and I grew up in Christian churches. My dad's side is Pentecostal and Baptist, and let me tell you, monsters walk among us in the house of God under the guise of godly people. I'm not saying everybody is, but a lot of the people within the church I grew up in, side eye. I'm looking at you, pastor's son. Oh yeah, fucking eyes. Bro's on a registry now. So I'm gonna really rush through this part because Sister Dumas gets fucking gross. She exposes herself to Harold, and she uses her rosary beads as, you know, the beads for booty holes. And then she asks Harold to come up and extract them. And there's a lot of descriptions about the smell and more fecal matter because, you know, what's splatterpunk without more poopy stuff? Harold, as he's doing this and Sister Dumas is enjoying herself, Harold has flashbacks of seeing his father, the Slob, and how he instructed him to decease people, to get rid of them, to turn them off. And he uses the filthy rosary beads to wrap it around her neck, strangles her to death, and then takes a pencil from the desk and stabs it in her eye. A very extensive and violent scene that I will end right there. Switching back to Vera, she receives the voicemail of, you know, Harold staying after school, and she's like, ah, fuck, what did he do now? Drives over to the school, and of course the front door is open, so she walks in to find the special needs class. She wanders around the entirety of the first floor, checking each of the classrooms, like, oh, wow, all these are empty, wonder where they keep the special needs kids. She goes upstairs, searches all the classrooms, nothing. She goes into the office, there's nobody there, and she's looking everywhere, and the only place that she hasn't checked yet is that really weird basement door. And she's like, surely they can't be kept down here, but that's the last place I gotta look. So she tried the door's open, and it sounds quiet. She starts walking down the stairs are creaking, it's a really creepy spot, and she's still listening, and she kind of hears some noises, like beads or marbles clacking around. And she gets to the bottom of the steps, and she sees the room. The little dingy desks, how gross the basement is, and she sees Harold sitting on top of a deceased Sister Dumas with a pencil in her eye. Harold is sucking on the rosary beads with, you know, filth on them, just cleaning each of them up with his mouth. Vera freaks out and starts screaming, "What have you done? Harold, what have you fucking done? What have you done?" Full-blown panic. Like, Aaron Beauregard does a great job really describing the feeling, the mental anguish, how trauma and like visual just crazy scenes shut off the brain, how just the body feels reacting to something so unbelievable. Like, I felt like I was there witnessing it. So she took a minute, taking in the scene, and she's like, oh God, what am I gonna do? And she finally gets a look around the room, and she's like, holy shit, the kids are being taught down here. Like, there's something going on. This place is filthy. Kind of reminds me of our home. Filthy and messy. I gotta clean this up. So before approaching and cleaning up the scene, she starts snooping a little bit around Sister Dumas's desk. And she finds a Polaroid camera inside one of the drawers and pictures. Very disturbing pictures depicting each of the special needs kids in various naked poses with religious symbols in their mouths or other orifices, posing for the camera. Vera is disgusted and she doesn't know what to make of this. Her child is being abused in this Catholic school. She pockets the photos and she's like, oh my God, like, this is so much deeper than I thought it was going to be. There's so much going on. What else are they doing? That explains Harold's behavior at home. That explains his outburst and how emotionally antisocial he is and how shut off he is from everything. Bros, fuck.